who stands over it. He goes direct. It looked like Leko Abdul Salam did have a little touch to it, but it was deflected instead. And it's a corner kick, the first corner kick of the encounter, going the way of Van Rizet FC. It'll be interesting to see what they make out of this one.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be interesting to see what they can do from this corner kick. At some point it was quite confusing because both officials were not really communicating.
Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. We just out to let you have a feel of some NNL matches there. Vandresa versus Gateway. Welcoming you on the show properly. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Joining me to talk sport is Peter Omeza. Good to have you, Peter.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Omeza, Peter.
Maybe you're trying to do double there. Now, let's look at a lot of stories trending. Even we have to look at the fact that Nigeria, as we speak right now, Nigerian ladies know their stand. I'm so happy that we're not in the same. It's not as if I'm scared anyway. The draw for FIBA World Cup, that Nigeria is not in the same group with US and all those countries. But we actually look at other stories while we quickly talk about activities taking place in the world of football. Let's start with the FA Cup. The match will be coming up tonight in the FA Cup. Let's quickly look at Everton against Boreham Wood. Boreham Wood, a team that a lot of people may not even know if they exist, but really they can be giant killing. They'll be facing Everton today, and Everton just have to up their game if they are to qualify. We've seen so many teams that have surprised and shocked bigger teams in this competition, and also put a bitter sleep in their mouth. So Everton must be very careful, not forgetting the fact that Lampard just have to prove a point if really he can turn things around in Everton.
Yes, talking about this FA Cup, you know, teams that you don't even expect will do a surprise. They will shock you by coming up, because you don't actually watch those teams. You just hear their name for the first time, and when they come up with big teams, they will perform exceedingly well. So Everton has to be very careful. If they had to knock out Bonham and proceed to the next round, they had to be careful. And their ball, the kind of play has been tactically improving, I think, under Lampard, I'm sure.
Well, from the way it is, do you see Everton beating Boreham Wood?
Of course, yeah.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Because a lot of, at times when you look at teams like this, you just want to underrate it just because they are unknown, and it could be at your own peril, because you don't underrate team. When any teams that qualify to play in the FA Cup shows that they really know what is at stake. They know a lot of money is attached to that particular tournament. Yes. So they know what they are fighting for.
Yes. You can even see the recent case of Middlesbrough and
Manchester United.
And Manchester United. You know, it's shocking, but like I said earlier, this very cup, FA Cup, is something that you expect. Anything can happen, especially with those teams that are coming up to play it. You know, that is the only major league they are attached to it, and the money involved and all of that. So they put all their energy, everything, to make sure they succeed. So, but however, I still tip Everton to win the match.
Well, we wait to see that if truly Everton will win against Boreham Wood in the FA Cup. While we quickly move to look at a match that will be coming up also. Let's just consider the fact that, as I said earlier, Nigerian ladies, the draw for the FIBA World Cup has actually been done, and we just hope that Nigeria will be able to scale through. We know our ladies are very, very good when it comes to basketball, but we will be taking that story not today. Now, let's move away from the FA Cup. Quickly, let's talk about the Copa del Rey. A match will be coming up, and let's look at Rayo Vallecano against Real Betis. Real Betis, so far this season, they are among the teams that are really making waves in La Liga, and they will be playing against Rayo Vallecano. It is very possible that they will also be able to win this game, and for them to scale to the next round of the Copa del Rey.
Yes, Real Betis has been impressive this season. You can see their form in the La Liga. They are in top 5 of the league, which means they have been performing very well and awesomely well this season. And Rayo Vallecano too, not that bad, but I think with the current form of Real Betis, they should be able to escape past Rayo Vallecano in the Copa del Rey match tonight.
You believe that?
Yes, you know, they have a very good attacking force too. They are a team to beat, except when they play with the top flight teams, you can see. But when they had to play with their normal average teams, they perform very, very well. So I expect them to play awesomely well. And being home, it's another advantage for them to escape through Rayo Vallecano tonight.
Now, we've been looking at matches coming up. Well, we just a match in Copa del Rey and also not forgetting the match in the FA Cup round of 15. Now, let's look at this particular story. Well, it's been a while now that Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Egypt, they've been on the fight that who will win to qualify for the World Cup. Now, let's look at this story that's coming from CAF. CAF right now, they are considering non-African referees for World Cup player. Why? They're actually talking about fairness, considering the fact that all these countries, each of them want to qualify for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Now, it will be a battle, and they want fairness in judgment. That is, the referee that will refer these games, they just have to be at their best. And they are looking at maybe they should get non-African referees who would not be biased in their officiating. And this would be very nice if they can do it, but I still believe, well, let's use Africans. Of course, I'm sure they won't. If the Europeans are playing, they won't come to Africa to pick referee to come and refer their own game. So why don't we use our own referee? Why don't we believe in our own? The only thing I expect them to just do is, okay, look for the best among the African referees and put them there and let them understand the fact that, yes, we know it's a very important matches for the two legs, but why don't you just pick your own?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denny. I think, in this part of the world, Africa, we have always placed the Westerners ahead of us when it even has to do with experiences. I think they were they were wanting to look at the fact that it's a titanic clash. This Nigerian-Ghana is a match, is a match that the people are actually looking at. And you can see it's a match to qualify for the World Cup. So they believe there are a lot of pressure and intense in that match. So considering a non-African referee to officiate the match, I'm not saying it as a bad one. But like you said also, it wouldn't have been bad if they look for the best among the African referees. But with the tense and the pressure on that very match, I am of a support to look out for a non-African referee to officiate the match.
Seriously?
Yes,
Is it that okay? Does it mean that in Africa now, where there is no referee that they could trust, that will be fair enough?
Of course they will.
So why don't you use them?
They just want to play safe.
Play safe how?
They want to play safe in the sense that there will be no excuse from any angle of both sides that, okay,
let me ask you this question. What if you be a foreigner? Can't the foreigner also, is he not a human being?
Yes.
Can the foreigner be bought over?
Of course they can, but
so
the chances of doing that is...
I think it doesn't, to me, really, yes, it could be a good plan, but when you begin to go out of Africa to pick refs that will refer African qualifier for World Cup, you're already sending some signals to the whole world that you could be calling, oh, we want to be fair, we want it to be balanced, but really you are sending a wrong signal to people out there that you don't have trust, you don't believe in your own people that they can do the job. And if you look at the World Cup, it means it will be very difficult for FIFA now to say, okay, if CAF didn't use their own people,
their chances of referring up there
at the World Cup, it will be very slim. So why don't we just pick the best?
Well. You're actually speaking well. Like I know they have not actually concluded about that.
Yeah, it's a plan.
It's still on
process. They are considering it, but really, because that consideration to me is not something we should just dabble into. Why don't you just pick the best of the best? If you are so afraid of...
I can reason from the angle you are speaking from. It will even slim our chance to officiating a match outside the continent. But however, like I said, we've all known, like in the just recent concluded CAF AFCON.
We saw a lot of issues.
So those things are some of the things.
In the EPL, La Liga, at the World Cup, wherever it is, don't they make mistakes too? See, if we don't start to believe in ourselves, we will never believe in ourselves. If you don't start something, you can never be good until you start. If you keep saying, okay, I will do this tomorrow, I will do it next tomorrow, I will do it, you keep planning, you keep saying, right? But when you start, there will be mistakes, there will be problems you will face. Then from the mistakes and the problem begins to be, okay, you'll be able to separate, okay, these are the better referees, these are the ones that we know that any day, anytime they can refer games, they can be fair enough. No matter how bad African referees are, I'm sure we can. How many matches are we looking at? We should be able to get at least good 5 refs.
To officiate.
Home and away, you can now, okay, if this one refer this one, maybe Nigeria and Ghana away, one man from Gambia, let's assume, assumption now, Gazama from Gambia is referring the game of Nigeria versus, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, I understand.
After that, coming to Nigeria, you can go pick another person from maybe Tunisia to come and refer that one, then take Gazama to another one, the second leg of the other teams. And before you know, you finish this. Don't let us send, in fact, sending wrong signal, because it will show that really, when you say, okay, because they are looking at fairness, they want there to be fair, right?
Yes.
But no matter how you want to be fair, immediately you go outside Africa to bring ref to come and play that game. You've sold yourself out.
Yes. Actually, like I said, you spoke well, and I'm already being convinced by your explanation so far. But the only reason I like the thing too, just for fairness, and we've seen a lot of loopholes about our officials.
It doesn't mean we don't have any good ref in Africa.
We do.
Then why don't if it's only one we have, let the only one do it.
Okay. I think I will go by that. Let the only one that is perfect for the match.
Let him do it. Okay, does it mean all at the AFCON? Does it mean all the ref that referred how many matches that we played, none of them, there was no single one that was good? Does it mean all of them are just not good?
Yeah,
then if you are looking for fairness in the games, does it mean we can't find one single ref from Africa that can be fair enough? Come on. Okay. I know it's being put under control, but it shouldn't be done. It doesn't really speak well of African football.
Whoever that will be perfect for it, even if it means to refer the both match.
Yes. Okay. After all, if you keep saying you want to develop, then when are we going to develop ourselves? If we don't believe in ourselves, yes, mistakes. Like I said earlier, mistake will come, but we can still get some. Even the Europeans who want to go and call, don't they make mistakes? Don't we watch a lot of matches that even you are here watching on TV, you can see error, but they don't see it. Are they not the Europeans?
They won't have threats. Some of them.
What about the one they were just apologizing to Everton about the
the handball in that match?
Was the ref not there? Is he from Congo?
No.
He's a man from Nigeria. He's not from Europe. Let's not go there.
All right, sir.
Now, let's leave that. Let's quickly talk about... we've been talking about our CAF considering getting maybe a ref from other continents to come and refer World Cup. That wouldn't be too nice at all for African football. Well, let's talk about boxing now as we digress a bit. A man that has been holding that belt, he has never been defeated since he became a professional boxer. His name is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury right now is saying that he will be retiring after defending his belt against Dillian Whyte. That will be a boxing bout that will be coming up in Wembley Stadium in London. But he just issued a statement on Wednesday that he will be retiring after defending that belt. That shows that he really wants to retire well honored, in a honorable way, while the ovation is still very loud. Yes,
that is what everyone wants for themselves. They want to retire at the time, or they want to live what they do at the best time of their life. Tyson Fury saying that, I'm not surprised, because he has been good in what he does, and he's still defending champion of that. And even the press conference they had, the Dillian Whyte couldn't show up, and it's not fine. You can't have a match, a big match like this, and at the press conference you won't show up. You are not marketing. You're not marketing the fight yourself, which is a shame. Even after the press conference, Tyson Fury were able to testify to that is a shame, not even to him alone, but to his family. You know, it will stand in a quest of time. And him saying he wanted to retire, I am in full support. Even when there is an outstanding match for him, that whoever win between the match of Anthony Joshua and
Usyk,
said he's supposed to be, but he said no. He said something that I loved. He said 150 million in the bank, young, and said so he wants to
face his family.
After that, he was parish and 6 kids. He wants to go and start enjoying his life. He has the money already there in stock. And what he's actually looking at. So if he can win this and add the honor to his name and retire, I think he did well. He did well. Yes.
And if he wins the fight, he's going home with 80% of the money.
Very awesome. Very huge.
Well, we've been looking at Tyson Fury retiring after the bout between himself and Dillian Whyte, fellow Briton. That fight will be coming up at Wembley, and he says he doesn't care if the issue of unification between himself and whoever win between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua is not concerned himself about that unified heavyweight champion of the world. His own is the fact that he has defeated everyone he ever faced, and if he's able to win this last one, he is done for all in the world of boxing. What a man that is so contented. Well, Tyson Fury for you there. Let's move away from another boxing story. Let's talk about another one. This time around, a man from Ukraine, his name is Alexander Usyk, defeated Anthony Joshua in their first bout. And that particular fight has sent a lot of signals to Anthony Joshua to buckle his belt. But the second fight was agreed that it would be coming up before the crisis between Russia and Ukraine stepped up. Now, it's not certain when the two heavyweight boxers will face themselves, because Alexander Usyk, as we speak, has enlisted himself in the frontier force of Ukraine. And you look at Alexander Usyk, say it's not certain when the fight, because for now, his people are more important than a boxing bout when he wants to make money. But he wants to defend his territory, his country. He wants to make sure the sovereignty of Ukraine is defended. And that is why, for now, he's not certain.
Yes, I think I'm in support of that decision for now. You know, you can have your people, the people who are behind you, who have supported your career for a very long time, in this kind of situation, and you will not even have the boost. You'll be depressed. I don't know the kind of vibe you go on. So he could even lose the match if he tried such. So that is the act of patriotism in him. He's trying to show and tell the world that his people matters first than whatever he's going for, because those people has been behind him, they've supported him, his career so far, and that is a good decision. Maybe when that is settled and he's calm, he can now refix a new date for the time.
Well, let's see what's going to be happening between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Hopefully, the issue of war will be put aside and that fight will actually see the light of the day. Well, unified heavyweight champion may not happen anymore for now between Tyson Fury. That's even if Tyson Fury win against Dillian White. But now he says he wants to retire. And for Usyk, the fight for Ukraine is the main thing right now in his heart. Now, let's take the last straw of our stories. Let's look at the fact that a particular manager of a club in Wales, his name is Andrew Russo, is saying that African players are underrated. And you agree with me, the fact, or rather with him, that really African players are underrated. If you start from he said that, okay, if you look at Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, the way these guys play football, if they were to be from Europe, or from Brazil or thereabouts, the way they celebrate them will have been different compared to the way they are being celebrated now. Yes. It's less. And he's saying African players that he has worked so far in European league, in different leagues. He mentioned so many leagues that he could see a lot of outstanding talent in African players. And so far, the hype, the celebration, statistics and everything given to the African players, to him, is they are really very underrated.
I agree with him, Andrew Rossi, very much, 100%. You know, we are from Africans and we know what best our guys can do. He even make mention of some great lads that has played under him that he knows. He make a lot of mention about so many people, and he single-handedly singled out Sadio Mane. And like, if Sadio Mane would have been from Europe or from England, he said people will be comparing him to Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, which is a very pure truth. You know, in the good days of Samuel Eto'o played to the point of getting the recognition, but because that factor of black was a very big challenge for him.
Not just even being black, from Africa.
From Africa, yeah, sorry, thank you for the correction. For being an Africa is a very huge challenge.
Look at Drogba, look at the only person that have been able to break that deadlock, and I still say to people, it was because that time they have no option for George Obonguere.
The option is nowhere. If you don't choose him, you are not doing it.
Good. So giving George Obonguere that time as World Footballer of the Year was nothing. There was no way. There was nothing they could do. As at that year, he was just the best. So they couldn't find a way. Look at so many we've seen where Eto'o, Drogba, JJ. Look at Okocha.
Yes.
Look at how talented, how I don't even know.
Like France '98, Okocha should be.
Imagine if Okocha is a white man. Imagine if Okocha is from England or from Spain, from Germany.
They worship him like they do, like they do to Beckham.
Understand? Imagine if the late Rashidi Yekini is from England or from Europe. Imagine if other stars that we've had. Now, let me put it to you. I'm sure you've heard about the name Teslin Balogun. Teslin Balogun, the way they worship George Best in England, the way they pick George Best, what a way, what a man, you understand?
Yes.
Or Bobby Robson.
Okay.
If you compare the history behind Thunder Balogun, you'll be like, wow. But because it's from Africa, the celebration, the way they portray them is quite lower compared to the way they portray theirs.
Just because
you understand. And really, African players, look at French Ligue 1. Look at how many African players are making waves there.
Yes.
Now look at the attention they have.
Yes.
They look at England. Wilfred Ndidi,
yes,
a player that if you want to rate him among the defensive midfielder in Europe, you can actually tip him to be among the best.
Yes.
Among the best. Imagine if he were to be a white man.
We all know this. Even I think the whites, they know this. They believe that's why most of them they want the blacks in their team because they know exceedingly what those guys can do. But the ability to give them that recognition is the challenge we are having with the whites. And like you said earlier, in the issue of inviting the non-African referee, I think the way the blacks have always presented themselves before the whites are the issues we are having.
You just have to change our mentality then.
Yes, it's very, very necessary for us to change.
Even look at us. Look at Nigeria. We still, up till now, I still believe the body language is just that they don't have option. We still believe that it must be a white man that must be our coach.
Yes.
We still believe that it must be a white man.
For us to do better.
For us to do better. Which is not. Look at Aliou Cisse of Senegal. He was with them for how many years? Eventually, finally, he was able to win the Nations Cup for Senegal for the first time. And he broke that record. The first man that won the Nations Cup for Senegal is from Senegal.
Yes.
He's not from any other nation. And you
it's
look
a pride
at,
to them.
Yes,
That's a pride to them.
and you look at the fact that they believe in him. They gave him the chance. No matter how high it is, let's give him the chance. It wasn't 2 years. It wasn't just 6 months. They believed in him. And eventually he was able to scoop it. And you just have to look at, believe in yourself. Believe in whatever you have. CAF, Nigeria, whichever country from Africa.
Yes.
Let's believe in ourselves.
The mentality has been very, very bad. We had to make sure that we travel out of the country to go and play football outside to make it. And you won't see those whites, after playing around, they still come back to their club country. And
no, that particular one, you can see there's a little thing there that is different. If leagues are well organized here,
yes,
look at Egypt, Algeria, Sudan.
Okay,
they don't go out to play football elsewhere. Very few go out to play football. They have highest number of their players in their league because why? Their league works. But it's shown whereby I'm not condemning our own, but we have not gotten it right. We need to begin, and now it's getting better, and we are doing it better. And hopefully, we begin to do it better.
I think the other African countries should emulate that. Let's develop our leagues.
It can be done.
Let's develop our land. Let's get to the roots. We have a lot of potentials in Africa. Let's get to our roots. Those guys are doing well. If you compare the rate of the way, even the condition is not fine, and they are still doing well. That's why you see any African player who got out of the country to play for Western countries, and the atmosphere is even enough for them to do well. If you can play on the raw field, on the raw pitch, and with
the weather, insecurity, bad road, and all that. It's actually
good the Westerners start appreciating us because we've made actually like you cannot talk about Barcelona these days and you write Samuel Eto'o off. Talk about Chelsea, you write Didier Drogba. He's not even Inter Milan. You cannot even still write about Femi Martin out. So there are teams that we have contributed immensely well in that they are taking the glory outside the world. You understand? So they've been talking about racism and they have been preaching war against racism. Sorry about that. So I think they should really, like he said, Andrew Rossi said, he said that racism. He appreciates the fact that FIFA is taking a good measure about that. But he wants them to still take those things to the grassroots. There are teams that they were not even known that those things still exist. So they should not just limit it to top flight teams or top flight league.
It should go deeper.
They should take to. I love the way the man speaks. And I'm very happy he's speaking from UK. So these things are something they should actually look into. I'm not saying they are not trying. At least we've seen so many placards and all of that. But
It's beyond placard.
Yeah.
It's beyond placard. Yes.
Let it go beyond. Yes.
Beyond placard. We've been talking about sporting activities, Africans, African countries, African leaders, African football, sport administrator. Believe in yourself, believe in your athlete, believe in your coaches or ref. If we continue to rely on others, we won't get our own right. Well, that will be it on 360 Sport for this hour. It's been a wonderful time joining us, and also to appreciate you, Peter Meza. Good one there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Denny.
Okay, well, we just have to go now. Do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.